what's the deal with Jacob and his sons Joseph's death in Egypt? I'm reading now from Genesis 48, 1 through 2. Sometime later, Joseph was told, your father is ill. So he took his two sons, Manasseh and Ephraim, along with him. And when Jacob was told, your son Joseph will come to you, Israel rallied his strength and sat up on the bed. Now Jacob recalls God's promises at Bethel and blesses Joseph's son, Ephraim and Manasseh, essentially elevating them to the stature of his own sons, an equal share in the inheritance, which also gives Joseph a double portion. Now, Grandpa Jacob includes a surprising twist in the blessing when he crosses his hand so that the right hand, the symbol of the greater blessing, rests over Ephraim, the younger. Joseph protests, claiming his pop's making a huge mistake, but Jacob insists he did it on purpose because Ephraim will become greater than his older bro, and he'll be predominant among the tribes of Israel. Which brings us to Genesis 49, 3 through 28. Jacob gathers all his 12 sons and delivers individual prophetic blessings, some uplifting, some corrective. Reuben, you are my firstborn, my might, the first sign of my strength, excelling in honor and excelling in power. Turbulent in the waters you will no longer excel, for you went up into your father's bed, into my couch, and defiled it. Simeon and Levi are brothers, their swords are weapons of violence. Let them not enter my counsel, let them not join their assembly, for they have killed men in their anger, and hamstrung oxen as they pleased. Cursed be their anger so fierce, and their fury so cruel. I will scatter them in Jacob and disperse them in Israel. Judah, your brothers will praise you. Your hand will be on the neck of your enemies. Your father's sons will bow down to you. You are a lion's cub, Judah. You return from the prey, my son, like a lion. He crouches and lies down like a lioness who dares to rouse him. The scepter will not depart from Judah, nor the ruler's staff from between his feet, until he to whom it belongs shall come, and the obedience of the nation shall be his. He will tether his donkey to a vine, his colt to the choicest branch. He will wash his garments in wine, his robes in the blood of grapes. His eyes will be darker than wine, and his teeth whiter than milk. Zebulun will live by the seashore and become a haven for ships. His border will extend towards Sidon. Issachar is the raw-boned donkey lying down among the sheep's pen. When he sees how good his resting place and how pleasant is his land, he will bend his shoulder to the burden and submit to forced labor. Dan will provide justice for his people as the one of the tribes of Israel. Dan will be a snake by the roadside, a viper along the path that bites the horse's heels so that its rider tumbles backwards. I look for your deliverance, Lord. Gad will be attacked by a band of raiders, but he will attack them at their heels. Asher's food will be rich, and he will provide delicacies fit for a king. Naphtali is a doe set free that bears beautiful fawns. Joseph is the fruitful vine, a fruitful vine near a spring whose branches climb over the wall. With the bitterness, archers attack him, and they shot at him with hostility, but his bow remains steady. His strong arms stayed limber because of the hand of the mighty one of Jacob, because of the shepherd, the rock of Israel, because of your father's God who helps you, because of the Almighty, who blesses you with blessings above the skies and blessings of the deep springs below, blessings of the breast and the womb. Your father's blessings are greater than the blessings of the ancient mountains, than the bounty of the age-old hills. Let these rest on the head of Joseph, on the brow of the prince among his brothers. Benjamin is a ravenous wolf. In the morning he devours his prey, and in the evening divides the plunder. All of these are the 12 tribes of Israel, and this is what their father said to them when he blessed them, giving each the blessing appropriate to him. Now, after the blessings, Jacob instructs his sons to bury him in a cave of Machpelah in Canaan with Abraham, Sarah, Isaac, Rebekah, and Leah. Jacob also assures Joseph that God will bring their descendants back to the promised land. After giving his commands, Jacob dies peacefully. These blessings emphasize the themes of covenant, inheritance, and the impact of individual actions on future generations. They also highlight God's sovereignty and his ability to work through both blessings and rebukes to achieve his purpose. Now we're in Genesis 50. Joseph weeps over Jacob, orders embalming, and is given permission by Pharaoh to bury him in Canaan. A large Egyptian and Hebrew funeral procession honors Jacob, an extraordinary sign of Joseph's influence. I'm reading now from Genesis 50:15. When Joseph's brothers saw that their father was dead, they said, "What if Joseph holds a grudge against us and pays us back for all the wrongs we did to him?" But in verses 19-21, Joseph said to them, "Don't be afraid. Am I in the place of God? You intended to harm me, but God intended it for good, to accomplish what is now being done, the saving of many lives. So then don't be afraid. I will provide for you and your children." And he reassured them and spoke kindly to them. Joseph lives to see several generations of his family before his death at 110. He makes the Israelites swear to carry his bones back to the promised land when God delivers them. Now this will be fulfilled in Exodus 13:19. Joseph dies and is embalmed and placed in a coffin in Egypt, closing the book on Genesis. Joseph's final instructions of his burial in Canaan shows his strong faith in God's promises that he would bring the Israelites back to the promised land. Now this belief overshadows the later exodus out of Egypt and emphasizes the continuing legacy of faith. The entire story echoes with the theme of reconciliation and forgiveness. Joseph's actions demonstrate grace and a recognition of God's hand in all that has happened. In essence, Genesis 48-50 offers insight into God's relationship with his people, including the divine promises, human responsibility, family dynamics, and the power of faith and forgiveness. So next week we begin our search all over again in Exodus, starting with what's the deal with Pharaoh's overwhelming violence and evil towards the Israelites.